Hello, welcome to the people. I'm just gonna tweet out that we're talking about this because apparently scheduled this for the wrong time. I thought I was being so on it and I was not on it. So you hate to see it. But hello, welcome. I also seem to have misplaced my copy of Love About Taipei, which not surprised. It's a hot mess in here. So but yes, let's see here. Let's not do weird because it's just me. Okay. I guess just to start off, now that there are 3 people here, I think I gave this 5 stars. I don't think I gave this 4. Let me double check. I don't think I gave this 4 stars. Pretty sure I gave this 5 because I really enjoyed this book. Yes, full 5 stars. You love to see it. Okay. Now that that's been tweeted, I can focus fully over here with the people. I'll give this 5 stars because like I said, I really enjoyed it. I didn't think it was going to be 5 stars at the very beginning. The very beginning, I was definitely not convinced. Like right up until Ever got like shipped out to Taipei, like those first little bit of the book, I wasn't so sure. But I would love. Oh, let me mute this. To see what we can start off with the discussion of what people in the chat gave. If you write it with us, I would assume that the 7 people watching also read it. I would hope. I'm praying that I'm going to have people to actually discuss this with. I didn't think this through, as we all know. So love to see. Hello, of course. StreamYard's gonna take forever, but hello, welcome, happy. This son needs to decide if he's gonna stay behind the cloud or come out because I cannot read my computer right now. But yeah, I gave it a full 5 stars up until we got to her actually being in Taipei. I wasn't sure I was gonna love it. Hello. But once we were actually in Taipei, I knew it was going to be the moment because everything was coming together. You had the boy from the newspaper clippings, you had the rich man, you had the girl who was trying to land a rich husband. Like it was beautiful. I was also going to say that I was very nervous going into this because somewhere between when I bought the book and when I chose the book for, maybe this will like counteract whatever the sun is trying to do. I bought the book and I picked the book for the book club to read. I discovered that it was going to be like the first book in a series. And so I was like, one, contemporary series, those little, like they be hit or miss, very questionable. But then I was also like, does that mean we're not going to have like a satisfying conclusion here? Like, is it not going to wrap anything up? And I'm very happy to say that it wrapped things up very nicely, I think. Although I am kind of confused as to like where, like I kind of understand where a sequel would go, but I'm also like, do I need it? Like, it's kind of the same way I felt when I finished Anna K earlier this year. 3 stars? I'm going to need an explanation on that one. Come on, StreamYard, catch up. Catch up, StreamYard. Because I need this on the screen because I don't understand how we arrived at a 3-star rating. Come on, StreamYard. I really hate how... There we are. I would love to know how we arrived at this conclusion. What? 3? What are we deducting stars for? I mean, was this book perfect? Probably not. Like, I'm not gonna act like it's the best book ever written. I would not go that far. Would not go on that limb. But I think it was solid. I mean, I guess a 3-star is like a solid book, but still. I guess because I rate on enjoyment, and I only deduct when the book is like questionable. At least I try to deduct when the book is questionable or the execution was flawed. And I can say that, you know, maybe the execution might have been flawed a little bit here. Okay, it was fun. See, I've heard this. Okay, see, this is what I've been hearing. I think this is kind of what I heard. But I'm like, here, have I been to Taiwan? I have not been to Taiwan. I have no immediate plans to go to Taiwan. But own voice, like, I could understand. Well, I know that right now I think Abigail is still in Taiwan. She's still in Taipei. She's researching for book 2 or whatever. But I guess like at the beginning of the book, it talks about how she is using her own experiences in a very similar program. And so I could understand if, you know, it's no longer the way it was when she was there. So I can't really be like it should have been one or the other. But I'm like, I wouldn't say that. I could understand if it's no longer reflective of like the city or something. Maybe I'll have to look into it. But I don't know. Okay, the program she went to was in Hong Kong. Interesting. Okay, well maybe that's what it was then. Maybe that's what it was. Like I said, I didn't do no kind of research, but that's fine. I guess that makes sense. Again, I don't know what Taipei is like. Apparently, neither does Abigail, but she seems to be fixing that. I guess she heard those critiques. She said, let me hop on this plane. I don't know why, but I'm also confused. Like, why are we going back to Taipei? Like, if that's the actual plot of the second book, that doesn't make sense to me. That I think I would not want to read. So that I'm confused about. Like, maybe she just wanted to go right, not in America, and just like, why not? But the vibe that I got was that it was like, we're researching. So now I don't know what Homegirl is doing. Either way, I'm not going to talk about getting landmarks and things wrong because I don't know what that conversation is about. And I'm not going to try to speak for the Taiwanese people. Hello, welcome. Happy y'all can make it. But yeah, I mean, I guess I could understand that being a disappointment. Like I said, I've never been, so I wouldn't know what is incorrect about it. And I thought that, yeah, I'm just going to leave that one alone. I'm just going to leave that one alone. Set it to the side. You also, come on, StreamYard. We're going to wait a moment so I can address the comment. Because that one I can kind of understand a little bit. Because if I were to compare, here we are. You gave it 3 stars as well because you adored Anna Kay and you read it before this one. This one I think I could understand. I could talk about this one. I can't talk about how accurately Taipei was described. I think that they are similar, and I can understand. because I do think that Anna K was executed far better. I think that the writing just level in Anna K it's not like Love Boat, like it doesn't make the attempt. I think that personally, I think you could put Anna K in the adult section. I think it would be a better fit in the adult section. Personal, I get it. And I think that Love Boat was definitely more commercial YA. But this one makes sense because they are very similar, both in terms of like, well, are they that similar? I mean, there is like a love square thing going on. I'll have to think about this one. I will have to think about this one. To me, it was very apparent Love Boat was a debut. Yeah, I could see that. Like I said, it's not the world's best writing, and apparently we didn't describe Taipei accurately on something. So I could understand that one because, again, like the writing here is really nothing to write home about. I do think that there were like some bonus content in the back of like that were the same scenes that we had already read, but apparently like the book was originally conceived as multi-POV. And I was so happy that Abigail nixed. I don't know if it was Abigail, the editor, whoever made that decision. I'm assuming it might not have been Abigail based on the fact that they were included. But whoever made the decision to cut that and just give us Ever, they need a raise because that was bad. Like that, no thank you, would not have, like, would I have wanted it to be multi-POV? Maybe. But then I think that it would have been compared to Anna even more. And the writing just definitely did not stand up to trying to do a multi-POV story. So as far as debuts go, I do think that this was solid. So again, I guess I won't complain that people gave it 3 stars because, again, it was solid. It's nothing to write home about. I just really enjoyed the character dynamics. What I actually wanted more of was Ever and her little sister, and obviously I was not going to get that based on geography and how that was, but I really wanted more of them because those are some of the better moments in the story. I thought I was never really invested in the little love triangle, square, pentagon situation. I didn't know it until I finished the book, and I'm always confused when Goodreads is like a book is 473 pages, and I get to page like 438 and the book is over, and I'm flipping and I'm seeing, like acknowledgements and like some other stuff. And then there's just like a couple of chapters at the back that are scenes that we already read. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like I can get it from a different perspective. And there was like a little foreword about how it was originally all of these were going to be included. And they just weren't fun to read from, which is odd because when I was reading them from Ever's point of view, I did think that most of the side characters were really well developed and that they felt like actual people, which makes sense when you think about how they were originally going to have perspectives in the book, or at one point that was an idea, or even if it wasn't an idea, she wrote there was a writing exercise at least of trying to write through them. But when I was actually reading their perspectives, they felt flat and I didn't care about them at all. So I'm happy they just remained non-flat side characters. I don't know what's going on in this sequel. I really don't think I need a sequel. I don't want to say there's like a trend of contemporary stories becoming more than just one book. And I don't want to nip it just yet because I think that it can be fun. But when the contemporaries aren't just like companions, I kind of don't see the point. Even were books that I liked them, so like To All the Boys, I think that To All the Boys and what is it, P.S. I Still Love You, are fun little books, but it's one book that was split in two. Like, they tell a full story, but To All the Boys and P.S. are like, it's one book. So doing that is like a duology is cute, and then Always and Forever Laura Jean literally doesn't need to exist. And I feel like the same thing happened with Anna K. I haven't read Anna Karenina yet, but I have a feeling that it's also going to be like a one book situation. And here I'm like, I don't know where we're going with this sequel. Like, what is the point of writing a book 2? And is it not? Maybe it will be a companion and we'll follow her sister on this little program, but that would be a really massive time jump. So I don't understand how their parents would afford that. So I don't know what's going on in the book 2. I'm not going to think about it too much, but I do want to say that I don't really know if I care about contemporaries that are series. I don't know if I need that. Personally, I know they used to be big, and like with your Gossip Girls and your Pretty Little Liars and all those other Sarah Shepard books. Like, I understand that there is a history of it. I understand, but I don't think we need to revive it. Yeah, I mean, I thought at first it was cute, and it almost reminded me more of the first book we read, Parachutes, than it reminded me of Anna K. I think, was her name Chloe? And that was like Chloe and Danny. I felt that Ever was an interesting mix of those two people. If that makes any kind of sense. I don't think it does, but in my mind it makes sense. And so like the sneaking around stuff, that reminded me more of like Parachutes. So that was interesting, but I don't know if I appreciated the sneaking around at the beginning as much as I did. I thought that it was like a nice way to progress the story and to set characters up to like have to interact in the ways that they did after that initial like sneaking around and getting caught. But we'll see. Always and Forever shouldn't exist at all. When I read them thinking that they had all come out at the same time because I read them late. And when I found out that Always and Forever came out like 3 years after PS, I was like, yeah, this book, it makes sense why this book is the way it is, and it definitely doesn't exist. Claire, see, y'all, this is terrible. This is terrible. Terrible. Let's just go on Goodreads. Let's really embarrass myself. Let's see what Goodreads says, because I'm sure I was incorrect. This is why all of my like book reviews have to be filmed. It was Claire Wong. All my book reviews have to be filmed as soon as I finish. Otherwise, I'm not going to remember your name. I agree. A lot of contemporaries are good because they focus on what characters are in the moment. Exactly. That's why I like them. We get a nice little moment, and then we move on. And while I think it could be fun to like check up on a character, I don't know if that's what's going to be happening in a Love Boat 2. And again, I don't really think I need a Love Boat 2 because Love Boat 1 was a cute moment. Again, I had a really great time reading it, so I gave it 5 stars. But I don't know if it would be like a repeatable moment because the book, I think, like, again, unless her little sister is going to go off on this trip herself, and it's like, how are your parents paying for this? What is the point? Like, why does a 2 exist when 1 wrapped everything up? Not Claire. Ever, she got the boy. She had a fun little summer. She is she's going to be doing her little teaching at the dance school or whatever. And then she's going to go off. Like, she has like this whole little plan. And I don't, what is a book 2 really going to add to that? I think this probably would make it would make a cute little Netflix movie, or even a little, like a Hallmark type vibe. I would see it. And I probably would also watch it because I think that it was a cute moment. But again, it would really only be a moment. I don't know if it could expand past the moment. I don't think the characters were really written to hold up past where we saw them. You know, like where would they go from here? Probably not very far. Probably not. Tess. Do I need a sequel? No. Am I going to read it nonetheless? Most likely. See, I don't know if I want to read Love Boat 2. Did I say I was going to read it in my review? Did I lie to the people? I probably did lie to the people. Let's see. Let's see if I lied to the people. I didn't put it on my want to read shelf, so that's nice. Yeah, I don't know if I wouldn't rush out to get this one. So I probably wouldn't rush out to get a Love Boat 2. I would have to. Does Love Boat 2 have a synopsis? Let's see. I have Goodreads open. It does not have a synopsis. How people add in books with no synopsis? Y'all are brave people. Some people want this to be Xavier's book, and they don't want him matched up with Sophie. I don't think that they would. Some people want them to be matched up. Why? Okay. People seem to be under the impression it's going to be more companion. I haven't looked into it. So maybe book 2 is meant to be a companion. In which case, again, I don't know how many stories I would need about a character going to Taipei and spending the summer in this immersion program. I almost kind of wish we got to see more of the program. Like, not going to lie. Like, I understand that we saw some of it, but I would have almost preferred to see more of the program than we actually got to see. Hello. Because I understand, like, the point was to be dramatic and messy and, like, running around and breaking the rules. And even when Ever was suffering the consequences and she had to, like, stay at the compound and actually learn things, and her parents had, like, chosen all of the, like, more educational electives. That was a cute moment, but I almost wanted to see more of it. So maybe if it were a companion series, I would get that, but I don't know. Like, again, I would not rush out to get the sequel, even though I enjoyed this one, because now I feel like it's even more, it's more up in the air as to would I enjoy it, because it's might not be a continuation, but it's not confirmed as a companion, and that's just a lot of questions for me personally. Even though, again, I did enjoy this one, so we'll see. We will see where the world goes, but it's not. Okay, so if no one else has anything to say, and this might be our shortest discussion, because I enjoyed the book, but I don't have too much to say. I guess based on these other people wanting the book to be about Xavier, I also really enjoyed the dynamic between Pearl did not have that dynamic. Between Ever and Sophie, I thought that they had an interesting relationship, both in the beginning and then when Sophie leaked those pictures. I'm going to be very honest. I did not see that one coming from Sophie. Sophie had been positioned as kind of the mean girl of the story. Like, you could see her arguably fit into that archetype if you wanted her to. But I did not see those photos getting leaked. I didn't see that one coming. I feel like I should have. It wasn't the world's most it wasn't like that moment was hidden. I feel like anybody could have guessed as soon as we were reading the scenes about those photos getting taken, they were going to like come out. But that I didn't see coming. Miss Sophie, that was a mess. And I did find their coming back together was nice. It wasn't rushed. It just kind of happened the way I felt that was good for them to happen. And even the dynamic with Xavier, and that was a cute little moment too. I really enjoyed it. Again, the messy little love pentagram that was going on, square situation, that was cute. That was really well done. I do think people could take notes of how well that was handled, because it's not like the book is very long. So the sabotage was good, and the punches, once it started going, it didn't really let up. I did think that kind of like right before the end, right there, like those last 75 or so pages, that was kind of, again, like the beginning pages, those first 75. They were a little draggy. They weren't the best. It felt a little slow, perhaps, but the bulk of the book, I didn't predict half of what happened to actually play out the way that it did, which was very nice. I appreciate it. But I also am going to be very honest that I very rarely predict things accurately. Sometimes I'm like, my prediction would have been better, but oftentimes it's like, okay, well, I didn't predict this, but you one up to me, so I will take it, because you were clearly the better author here than I was. But for me, didn't see them reconnecting going successfully. And so when the reconnection was successful, I was very touched. I was happy that they were able to come back together. I was even happy when Xavier and Ever were able to have like that kind of, what do I call it, a friendship? Friendship is probably the right word, but I don't know if it's accurate. But I'm going to use it. I'm going to say they had a friendship at the end, because that was cute. That was very cute. But I truly, honestly, don't have a lot to say. So if there's nothing that people in the comments want to say, we can go for another 5 minutes, maybe, just to wrap things up. I do have the November pick. I think I said on Twitter, maybe it was in my announcement of the October pick, but we will be taking the month of December off. I'm sure the November pick will have a live show. I will schedule that sometime this week. Let me open up the calendar. We'll probably do December 5th or the 6th, because we're announcing this a week into November, so people have time to read. It's kind of a backlisty title. It's not the most backlisty title, but I do think most people have read the book I have for November. And then December, the final month, we'll be taking off, and we'll come back in January. And I do have those books ready to go. I'm just waiting to see, because I know there's a slight delay, if there's any last topics of discussion. Okay. The only thing that I see all up in the comments is what's the November book. So here we go. The November pick is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson, which is a book I believe that everybody has already read except for me. I don't think that this is meant to be messy in the same way that Love Boat Taipei was messy, or Of Curses and Kisses, or even Parachutes. I do believe that this is more like everyday, mundane, messy, finding, yourself messy, but still, I think it fits the theme. And so we'll be reading this in the month of November. You'll love to see it. Love Boat does have a really nice cover. I will give them that. I hope that book 2 has a nice cover as well. Okay, I'm not alone. But yeah, so we're reading You Should See Me in a Crown in the month of November. And then for the month, don't fall. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, I have found everyone watching, we have found each other because I also haven't read it. Okay, I'm excited. See, I knew that people had read it. I thought everyone had read Using a Crown. Then for the month of January 2021, there is no December. Nothing in December. We will be reading Permanent Record by Miss Mary H.K. Choi. This was the best book that I read. I'm going to say it was the best book that I read in 2019 because it's not a sequel, so it doesn't feel like cheating. The Permanent Record by Miss Mary H.K. Choi, because I love it and I want people to read it. And I think that it definitely fits for being messy. You'll love to see it. Then for the month of February, I figured we should have a nice little theme and we could continue with Emergency Contact by one Miss Mary H.K. Choi, because again, it is messy, and I think that it is a lovely, bittersweet contemporary that has a nice little romantic element, and I want people to appreciate it. So we're reading Emergency Contact. You'll love to see it. March, I want to say that we will be reading a book, but I haven't actually. I don't know where I want to land on new releases of the month. So I won't announce March just yet, but we'll be starting off the year with Mary H.K. Choi, and we will be ending this year with You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. And I'm excited for all of these. You'll love to see them. You've been meaning to get to this book is, I think this was this one. So good. It's definitely my most annotated book. It's also the last time I tried to annotate a book, so I don't really know what that one is. You love Permanent Record. Emergency Contact I love it too. You'll love to see. This one has a stain on it, so let's hold up the one that's not stained. It is a gorgeous cover. You'll love to see it. I'm very excited because this was I did read Emergency Contact before I read Permanent Record. And if I hadn't read Permanent Record, Emergency Contact might have been up there on that 2019 list because this one is great. You started Permanent Record, but you put it down. Super interested in both of them, though. I do know a lot of people who did not like Permanent Record, so I think it'll be very interesting to discuss. I haven't decided if I'm going to be emotionally stable when people don't like them and I have to sit here and discuss them, because I'm very I don't know if I'm able to do that, but I'm very much looking forward, and I will try to spend the month of December thickening my skin, because I do know that there are people out there who hate permanent record and who hate emergency contact. So I won't be surprised if people do not like these books. I will be confused because I think that they're both excellent works of fiction. I think that Mary H.K. Choi is just a light in this world. So I will be confused, but I will understand that these people are not alone, particularly permanent record. People really hate Pablo. People hate that poor child. So there is that. You have them on your TBR. I love it. You love to see it. You love to see it. So I think that's everything that I have to say about this one. Thanks for joining me. I will be scheduling the November one, hopefully by the end of tomorrow, so you can click that reminder. But again, the book for this month is You Should See Me in a Crown. It looks pretty short. I'm going to hope it's barely 300 pages. So it's last minute notice, but it's shorter than Love Boat was. So this might be the shortest book we've picked. So I keep saying we, that I've picked. The shortest one. So you'll love to see it. Maybe I'll let like the March one be like a viewer pick. I don't know. But I'm going to go. I'll do all the thinking off screen. Thanks for coming out to talk about Love Boat with me. I had it was a nice way to spend my Sunday. I really appreciate it. I'm going to let you all go on and get about your day. Do all the things that you got to get done. And I will see you guys soon with another video. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and say bye.